Hello, officer.
Well, look who finally decided to show up. If it ain't Charles Reed, the genius that cracked the case of Albert Throgmorton, Captain Caleb Lyons at your service. What can we simpletons do to assist you, Mr. Holmes?
You and I have a problem, officer.
No. Aside from making everyone in the Oakmont Police Department look like idiots, let me be frank, newcomer. You ain't welcome. You slip up, don't cross a T or dot an I, and I'll treat you like every other criminal here.
Okay. Well, can I use the police archive in the meantime?
You can, but only because of Mr. Throgmorton's patronage. And heed me well, you're on mighty thin ice, and I'll be under it when it breaks. Don't waste my time, newcomer.
Hey, knock it off!
I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. The good news is I've found Glover.
And the bad?
The bad news is he's dead. Murdered.
Indeed. Did you discover who killed him?
Not yet.
Then why are you wasting my time? Find me Glover's killer. I need the name of the man who crossed me, Mr. Reed, if I'm to make an example. I'm not in the mood for chit-chat, Mr. Reed.
Damn newcomers!
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Looks like Squint was having a bad day. Survived getting shot just to be stabbed to death. But who did it?
Killed him. What have I done? What in the world have I done?
At long last, I'll fix what that old ape lover Francis did to you.
Hark! Get away from the... Oh, thank the gods. I thought you were another monster.
Sidney Stokes, I presume.
Aye, that's right. Do I know you?
Don't think so. I'm here about Herbert Glover. I believe you know him. Or should I say, knew him.
Okay.
Nice trick with the wall. How'd you manage it?
It wasn't me. She put the wall there with some kind of hocus pocus.
You said she put the wall here. Who is she?
She's our employer. I don't know her name or anything. She promised us a good payout for a simple job. and I fell for it like a chump.
What did she hire you to do?
The job seemed simple enough. Go to the collector's house, grab some fancy mirror, and then hoof it out of there.
So where's this fancy mirror now?
She took it. When me and Phil met her with the goods, they got into a big blowout and she shivved him. Okay, what am I to do now? Phil was the idea guy, I'm just a sap.
Were you hired to kill the collector too? Or was that just for laughs?
I swear to Kay, it wasn't part of the plan. It was an accident. The guy started shooting at us and I panicked.
You panicked? Really? That's your excuse?
Please, as Kay is my witness, I didn't mean to kill anyone. I'll give you everything. I have. Just let me walk.
Look, you might be a sap, but at least you're an honest sap. I'll look the other way, but you better get scarce, and fast.
Thank you. You're a lifesaver. You won't see me again, I swear. Here, take this. Thanks again. What do you want? What do you want?
I've looked into your delicate matter.
Excellent. Don't spare me any details.
Glover's dead. He was killed by a man named Sidney Stokes, who happened to be robbing his place. He wasn't working alone. He had a partner, Phil O'Connell. Didn't end up much better. All over some kind of mirror, apparently.
Truck. Where is the mirror now?
Their employer has it. Some mystery woman. I didn't get her name, but she obviously wasn't fooling around.
I see. So, my enigmatic competitor has finally shown her hand. And the thieves are both dead, you say?
Their employer decided to bump them off. Now, I hope that's not standard business practice in these parts.
You've proven to be far more valuable to me alive than dead, Mr. Reed. You have nothing to worry about in that regard.
All right, I've held up my end of the bargain. Now, it's your turn.
Of course, Mr. Reed. Here's your payment. Now that you know everything, would you accept the second part of the job?
Let me guess. You want me to track down the mirror?
Yes, and the one who so rudely snatched it from my grasp.
I'm on it. Only got one lead, though. Our culprit had a bone to pick with someone named Francis. Mean anything to you?
Ah, yes. That is without doubt my father, Francis Throgmorton. May rest his soul.
What's he got to do with this?
I found mention of the mirror in his records. That's what led me to take interest.
Your father was a prominent man. I'm sure he had enemies. Anyone come to mind?
None who would outlive him.
You mentioned your father left records. Mind if I take a gander at them?
The prospect of you rifling through my father's possessions does not fill me with joy, Mr. Reed. But if that's what you need, so be it. Take this key. I'm not in the mood for chit-chat, Mr. Reed.
Seems an ambitious expedition. Like father, like son. Curious craftsmanship. These must be worth a fortune. Looking sharp, but I guess that's the point. (1891) must have been a busy year for Francis. Your father led an expedition back in 1891. Do you know anything about it?
I'm not the best person to ask, I'm afraid. I was a babe in arms back then, and my father never made his findings public. It is a great shame, of course. His work would have turned the science of evolution on its head.
Yeah, I can see that. Have a good day. Kid looks a little familiar. (1891) must have been a busy year for Francis. I had some questions about Bethany.
I beg your pardon? I don't believe I know anyone of that name.
Well, it came up during the investigation. See, your father divorced, and his ex-wife's name was Bethany.
Say no more. It is beyond my earliest memories, but even if it weren't, my father's business is his own. I shall not engage in gossip.
Have a good day.
Do you see it? Do you see it?
Haven't you seen the beast?
The blood's almost dry. There's enough dope left in here to knock out a horse. The door won't budge. I'm looking for Bethany Throgmorton. You got any patients by that name?
We'd know if we had a Throgmorton. Although, we do have a Bethany. Or rather, we did. She's missing, and not on one of her usual walks.
Her usual walks. You let patients leave the building?
Oh, Bethany was harmless, and she always came back. This time, well, I've never known her to be like that.
You mean she broke out?
Yes, knocked an orderly out cold. She was out the door in a moment. It took us all by surprise. She's usually harmless.
Any idea where she went?
No. She had been odd recently, though. Muttering to herself, and she drew this strange picture on her bedroom wall.
That's interesting. Can I take a look at her room?
I suppose it couldn't hurt. She had a separate room downstairs. Here's the key, but do watch out for broken glass.
Bye. The blood's almost dry. There's enough dope left in here to knock out a horse.
Do you see it?
At 7 years each, that's a lot of bad luck. I'm glad it's not mine. Huh. Was this taken at gunpoint? Someone had a field day defacing these.
I will find it, baby boy. I promise. Just tell me more.
Someone had a field day defacing these.
Stop right there.
You no longer have any power over me. I have found my Hammond. He's shown me the way. Randall Glassworks from Salvation Harbor. I can't believe it. The answers have been there since last century.
Time to piece this one together.
Stop right there.
You no longer have any power over me. Randall Glassworks from Salvation Harbor. I can't believe it. The answers have been there since last century. You no longer have Randall Glassworks.
Stop right there.
Bethany escaped the asylum after getting the mirror from Glover. Next stop looks to be a factory called Randall Glassworks. The blood's almost dry. Seems that Bethany had a thing for mirrors. You know anything about that?
Oh, yes. Poor soul. She was convinced there was a boy called Hammond living in her mirrors. She talked to him every day.
I see. Bye.
Yes, I haven't got all day. What do you want?
Just wanted to say hi. I'm new in town.
Oh, how nice for you. If you need to look anything up in our archives, get in line like everybody else.
Well, if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is.
Good. I'm glad we understand each other.
Bye.
Stop bothering me, newcomer.